delivering the news dealers count on for 10 years. Subscribe today and join thousands of other automotive professionals. CBT News, 10 years strong. You're watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.
One of the oldest Chevrolet dealerships in the U.S. belongs to McClinton Auto Group out of West Virginia. Started in 1915. You think these people have seen some change over the last 100 plus years? They're now run by the fourth generation dealer principal, Ginny Bowden, who is on today's show with us. So thank you so much, Jenny, for taking the time out of your schedule there to join us on the show.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Sure. So 1915. Wow. That's how far back the family's dealership goes. You're fourth generation. What's that like?
Well, I've got big shoes to fill, and I feel very fortunate to have this opportunity. It's definitely not, this isn't something I've created. I just have been passed the baton and given the opportunity to continue on.
Sure. At what age did you realize, I think I'm going to be running this dealership one day?
Well, my dad has been really supportive and never really pushed my brother or myself to go into the business, and wanted us to decide on our own and find our own way and figure out what we wanted to do. So I actually did not plan on doing this. I had moved away down south and then out west for many years. And it just, at one point I said, gosh, a 100-plus-year-old family business, we can't turn our back on it. And it's something that I need to go and do.
Sure. So when that call came to your dad, he's probably like, yes, she's in, she's in, right?
Oh yes, especially since my husband he's our general manager, and he was born to sell. So
there you go.
It worked out well.
That's fantastic. So I might also add that you were selected the 2022 Time Dealer of the Year for West Virginia. Talk to us about that. That's pretty cool award.
Yeah, it was very special, and I was very honored. And it's, like I said, it's nothing that I really created on my own. It's been, my family has been very involved in the community for a long time, and that's one of the integral parts of the nomination is dealers who give back to the community. And so I just continued what my dad and grandfather and great grandfather did, and they ingrained in me in a young age that you give back to the community and they'll give back to you. So
right. And it's so true, so true. And there's so many dealers, many of your colleagues in the industry that give back to their communities. It's something that I think a lot of consumers aren't aware of in many markets. They don't know how the dealer groups in their markets and the dealerships that they do business with really do give back in so many ways to the community, right?
You're exactly right. It's important.
Yeah, no question. So let me switch gears a little bit and talk about bring you to today. How is business today? We're seeing that lots are starting to fill back up with a 30, 40, 50, 60-day supply of vehicles. We're starting to see interest rates or subvented programs out there to bring rates down and discount vehicles and such. And so how is it among your dealerships? What's business look like?
For a long time, we were concerned about getting through COVID and the dealing with the supply chains then. And now I think, the bigger concern is the after effects of COVID, which we are still feeling. Although we are increasing our inventory and day supply, it's still not up to what, it should be and could be.
Sure.
But that being said, a lot of dealers are kind of acting like we are at that level and slashing prices. I had hoped that, we had learned some things from those tough couple of years, but I'm afraid that we're going to go back to our old ways. The inflation and interest rates and, big box stores like CarMax and rental car companies, those are driving prices up as well. So it's just finding that, we got to find what works for us and the customers, and um, get back to some sort of normal.
Sure.
So,
have you experienced yet those consumers that came in a couple of years ago, or maybe 2-3 years ago now, that purchased a car at maybe at or above sticker price at your dealership because of they were so scarce at the time, and now they
right.
want to trade those vehicles in, and they're given a trade allowance? It's like, wait, what did you just say?
Right, exactly. We're proud to say that we never charged over MSRP, and that's being in a community like this. We
Yeah,
didn't want to put our consumers in a position like that. I
sure.
mean, we did sell at sticker, but we never went above, and that was important to us, and will continue to be. But we are definitely seeing customers in some bad situations, and it's unfortunate. And it becomes a problem not only for them but for us. I mean, it's a bottleneck. So
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And in terms of the used car situation, are you seeing just used car prices fluctuating each month? You buy a car for $25,000 today, and then next week it's worth $23,000, and the following week it's worth $28,000.
right, yeah, it's that's a pretty delicate part of the business right now, is
Sure.
our used car lot, and
Sure.
trying to keep inventory, keep it fresh, but not get stuck in some bad cars. So even when we appraise vehicles, we tell customers right up front, this is good for 5 days, or whatever, that this offer is good for just so long, because it is changing rapidly.
Yeah, for sure. During COVID, we saw digital retailing kind of on the rise. A lot of dealers jumped into it and said, "Oh man, we got to be in this space in a big way, and we got to, win in this area." People may want to buy their cars online and have it delivered to their front door. At least do a lot of the work online, so when they come by the dealership, 99% of the work is already done. The process, we just got to pick up the vehicle and be on our way. A lot of people just continually complain about they taking way too long at dealerships. Where do you
Right.
stand on that today? Are you committed to a digital experience for your consumers, or is that kind of not as much an
We
issue?
are, absolutely. I think that that's important to stay on the forefront of that, and especially in a rural area like ours, we have to try to appeal to all consumers, and ages and preferences of how they want to do business, which is across the board. So as much as we want to be latest and greatest, and be able to provide that seamless experience, we have a lot of people that want to come in, shake our hand, do business the old way. I mean, buying a car is the first, if not second, most expensive purchase in most people's lives, and
Right.
it's so we want to provide the ease of doing business, and efficiency with the online stuff, but also we do have people that still want to come in and spend the time and go
Sure.
through the process at the dealership.
Yeah. You mentioned you're in a rural area in West Virginia. Are your customers ready for this EV revolution that we find ourselves in the middle of? Talk to us about that.
Um, no, I don't think so. I don't think, we have not really seen much interest from our customers or people in our area. I think you're right. It has to do with the rural area. We are in a mountainous state.
Mm.
Infrastructure is definitely a concern, and people want to be able to rely on their vehicle to get them from A to B, and the concern about being able to charge and all that is a problem.
Yeah.
So it's obviously the future, but to what degree, and at what point, and one size doesn't fit all. So
Sure.
LA is not going to be the same as Parkersburg, West Virginia. So
That's right. With regard to affordability, we talked a lot about affordability prior to COVID hitting. It seems like not so much since then, although now it's coming back into in terms of a top issue. There in West Virginia, is $48,000 okay as the average price of a new car? How does that sit with your consumers there?
yeah, I mean, that's high. It's it's tough because, um, this is a difficult state. We don't have a whole lot of industry coming here or staying here.
Right.
There are jobs available, but finding people to fill those jobs that want to work, all that is definitely an issue that then feeds into, people being able to afford vehicles at that price,
Sure.
and live. So, it is difficult.
Yeah, for sure. Do you what is the mix of new versus used? Is it mostly new or mostly used that your dealerships are selling?
We're probably 40-60 new to used.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to our ideal situation is to have local trades for, obviously in a perfect world, all dealers want, the perfect trade that has one owner, has a story.
Sure.
But we have to go to auction to get some vehicles and pay up.
That's right.
But it's, finding that equilibrium of providing inventory and options, different makes, models, prices, is a difficult challenge for us, for sure.
Right. My next question is one that I think you're uniquely qualified to answer as a female dealer principal, and that is, what does the industry need to do to get more Ginnies into the industry? Women do so well when they're in the industry, but it's hard to attract them into retail automotive. And of course, you're thriving there, running your family's automotive group. What is your take on that?
Like I said, this wasn't something I considered at a young age, and I wish, hindsight's 2020. I wish I would have started out at the dealership, washing cars, and then working my way to sales or service, and working my way up, because I think that I would be doing a better job as a leader of the dealership. But I don't necessarily look at it as attracting women at this point. It's just people.
Yeah.
We need people that want to work.
Sure.
And there's so much opportunity in the automotive industry, and specifically at dealerships. I mean, it's, service, sales, it's just endless. And people can make a really good living and provide for their family, and it's a great place to work. But so I as much as I am probably not many female dealers around or women in the industry. I think it's just people. So but it's fun and challenging, and there's an endless amount of opportunity.
Yeah, no question about it. What are the things, here we are in the middle of, high interest rates, gas prices that are pretty high. There's some other factors out there on the economic landscape. What are the things that keep you up at night with regard to either the auto group that you're running or the industry as a whole?
I think most of the questions you've been asking is those are all very relative to what keeps me up at night. And, whether it's from a $200,000 investment into EV, chargers and tools and training for my team that I'm probably not going to see a return on investment for a long time. That's a difficult pill to swallow. But I would say probably the biggest would be people, and finding, people that want to work and that want to work hard.
Right.
And even specifically the skill set jobs like service technicians. We as a country, we spent so much time pushing the narrative of you got to go to college, to do well. And that's just not true.
I know. Here you've got technicians making six figures all day long in the industry that never spent a day in college, and they're doing very, very well. Exactly.
So, and I mean, salespeople, it's just, I think that's really trying to undo what has been done, I guess, over the last decade, and try to ignite the interest of people and let them really understand what their opportunities are in this business.
Sure. Well, Ginny Bowden, dealer principal of McClinton Auto Group in West Virginia, thank you so much for joining us on the show. We very much appreciate it. I know that a lot of our dealers, male and female, will get a lot out of your visit with us today. So thank you and best of luck to you as you go into the second half of 2023.
Great. Thank you so much, Jim.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick. For a limited time, $1 gets you full access to all the automotive industry news and content CBTnews.com has to offer. CBT News. Subscribe today.